Hello everybody, my name is Travis Hazelton. I'm the author of the Man with No Past series of ebooks available on the Kindle on Amazon.com. And now that I'm done with that little self-promotion there, I'm going to talk about these knives here. This one is a slightly modern rendition of the legendary Kabar. If you don't know what the Kabar is, then stop trying to buy knives and go find out what the Kabar is, because if you're a knife person, you don't know what the Kabar is, you're just an idiot or you're not a knife person. So this is like the man's knife. Has been the basic template for a good hunting knife for many years now. This one has a Creighton handle, a fuller, also called a blood groove, a flat grind, and a semi-serrated edge. This one is Cold Steel's remake of it, called the Leatherneck. If you notice, the flat grind starts from the top all the way to the bottom. This makes for a very slender, easy to use for skinning, intricate things like that. Creighton handle, kind of similar, but obviously different. And first I'll start with this one since it's in my hand. You got a much thicker guard here than with the Kabar. If you look here, it's yay thick, and then if you look at the Kabar, quite a bit thinner there. And they're both made out of, this one's SK5, this one's 1095. SK5 has a carbon rating of 1095, so they're pretty much the same steel. Now, this has a nice little divot here that allows your fingers to go in there. It's pretty nice. And like I said, it's got that different blade geometry. It's a little lighter, so it might not be as good at chopping things, but it's a little better for more intricate and fighting type slashes. And another big thing to me right here is, as you see, that's the tang that goes all the way through the handle, and it's called a full tang. It just looks like a slip tang. The Kabar is slip tang. I don't see why Kabar can't just fix these two things. They can make it full tang, and they can make a thicker guard there. Otherwise, I think there's going to be a great... Tomorrow I'm going to go ahead and test both of these out in the field. And I think that they're going to hold up wonderfully, personally, knowing both of these companies, but I think that there's going to be a pretty nice trade-off. This one's going to be a little better for intricate things. This one's going to be a little better for less intricate but more heavy-duty things. They both will probably be able to do what the other one is capable of, but not necessarily as well. But you know, we'll see. I'll get back to you tomorrow, and have a nice day. Okay, everybody, continuing this Kabar and Leatherneck thing here. What we're gonna do, I'm here in Gold Strike Canyon. I'm gonna chop down just a few pieces of wood here and make a quick fire. Kinda just for the shit and giggles of it, you know. First thing I'd like to point out here, though, is it looks all dry, right? This is a cat claw tree, or a bush. Well, it's not. The thing is all these desert plants out here, if you see any green leaf on it whatsoever, the inside's going to be plenty green enough to make it hard for you to cut, harder to burn. It's a standard trait of the desert plants because they hold their moisture on the inside instead of having it expelling moisture, like a lot of not so arid plants do. So anytime in any kind of survival situation when you need firewood, you want to look up. Even in the woods, out here in the desert, you want to look up and away from the water. So I'm gonna go up there. I can kind of see a bush up there that should be completely dead. I'm gonna cut down 4 pieces off of it, 2 for each knife. Nothing major. I'm not destructive testing these knives. I'm just going to do a quick little edge retention test, and we're going to make a fire with that. Okay, here we are. I'm going to start with the Leatherneck because my hypothesis is that since it has that flat grind from top to bottom, more slender blade, it'll provide less resistance going through side to side. So no problem there. In the desert, a lot of these, even though they don't look very big, they're cured by the dryness and the sun, so they're actually quite hard. They're stiff. I mean, obviously they're relatively brittle, but it does present a different challenge cutting through them. Let's go for a little bit bigger one right here. Alright, not a lot of problems there. So that's 2 on the Leatherneck. Find some around the same size. I'm not going to just tackle something bigger just to prove a point. Alright, here's the Kabar. Alright, it's already not getting quite as much per chop, so I believe I'm correct there. To show you, there we go, broke through it. The weight of the knife does tend to help. Let's find another one here. Too small. There, right here. Ow. Having quite a bit of difficulty. Some of that's probably due to the springiness of this branch. But I think it's safe to say that the Leatherneck has beat in that sense. Alright, got it. Now, I'm going to split these, because now my other hypothesis is that the Kabar will probably be better for splitting wood due to its little beefier grind. It's a lot harder when you're holding a camera. Or something a little safer. All right. Give me just a second to start it up. Alright, one hand seems to be splitting it. In fact, you can kind of see that the split of the wood is not even touching this cutting edge. Probably because of the fact of the way that grind is. It expands the wood a lot faster. Let's try the Leatherneck on this. I'm already feeling more resistance. Yeah, I'm afraid that's not a good example. Alright, I'm having to use 2 hands here. See? Well, quite a bit of stress on that. Also due to that slender blade. Its cutting edge is actually probably taking all of this. You can see it's touching all the way through, so you can kind of see how that would provide a lot more resistance than if this were more of a log splitting type grind. So that explains it. I'll meet you down in the valley for the fire. Now what I've got here is the Gerber. Yeah, it's the Bear Grylls version. It's what they had there. But despite the hype, I'm actually impressed with this. You got this here piece. Is a pop it off. It's a nice little waterproof spot to put some kindling. You got brighter colors on there, the orange, in case you drop it, don't lose it. And then get yourself a fire stick. So what I have here is this little kindling here, which is the top of these sagebush plants. The very tips of these yellow tips, they work very well. Some dead pieces of sage and the stuff we just cut. So if I can hold this in a way so we can see if this works. I've used this before. It works. Any fire starter like this pretty much works, so hopefully you can see. And I also forgot to say that is hemp rope. I use that because the oils in it catch on fire very easily. So even in wet conditions, you got yourself a fire. So, good thing growing up in the desert is a pyro. So if I were in a survival situation, I know how to make the fire. I've done it with bow drills and such before, but it's obviously better to carry a lighter or fire starter or something. So there you go. You got yourself a fire. A couple little fun facts about desert outdoorsmanship out here in the Mojave Desert. And I'll go back to you on the knives back at home. Have a nice day.